guys, James here at TCGU University, coming back at you with another deck profile. We're doing another one of the top 4 from this week's Campus Championship. We're going to be doing Asimov Katerina. I was really hoping they weren't going to give me this, but being the Asimov Katerina player, I kind of saw it coming. But this one's more entirely different than a lot of the other builds I built recently. This is, I think, build number 78. The cool part about this deck is it's the first themed deck that isn't the weapon build. This is the first themed deck I've played under order. So let's get into it. I'll show you what I built. As you can see, we got our big boy thick deck right here. Asimov Katerina, in my opinion, has to be forced to play 16 Red Eye Capsules, a card that goes very well with them. We'll get to those in a second. It's like the first front half of the foundation, so don't worry. But they end up basically having to play, I think it's 21 cards. That's like just mandatory. It's mandatory you have to play these 21 cards because they flow the deck. Without those cards in the deck doesn't do anything. It's minuscule gains for nothing. It's a really cool, techie deck. With or without the Red Eye Capsules. I just feel like with the Red Eye Capsules and the entire engine, the deck runs very smoother and a lot stronger. But sometimes you get bad draws, which I feel with like the release of Yu Hakusho has, and the demo decks with Bakugo and Midoriya. It has really fixed the problem that Asimov Katerina have, and I kind of really like this deck and will probably work on this one for later. But they have 2 abilities. E, you remove 1 foundation from your discard pile from the game, and ready 1 foundation that shares the same name as the removed foundation. So basically, you remove Red Eye Capsules and Red Eye Capsules, but you're also able to do it for like Faye-Fays if they get stunned and stuff like that. So you get to do a lot of cool maneuvering with your cards, which is very strong. It's good against stun, stuff like that. Its other ability is E, you can commit 1 foundation. You name a card, and then your punch or weapon attack. Our deck is completely punch this time. Usually I do kind of like a mix mash and just play like the best cards, but this is a punch-oriented deck. Actually, there's one card that's not punch, but like it's a very punch-oriented deck. And your punch or weapon attack gets +1 damage for each of the named card removed in your removed from game pile. This is very strong, especially because if you play the Red Eye engine, you get to play 16 copies of it. So at max, you play 16, and you get +16 damage. I find that like max, you want the 13. You want +13 damage. It's an odd for +7 damage basically on half block, but you do that because you want like max 3 interstaging area or minimum 3 interstaging area, 2 to 3. So it's like a 13 to 14 plus damage, which is really nice, really strong. But that's kind of why you have to play the engine. It's because you give plus damage equal to the number of X card in your removed from game pile, and you can just remove 16 of the foundations and just not have to worry about it. Put that there because I like this card. We're playing 2 Prepare to Fight. We're playing this. I actually wanted this to be Stop, but I feel like this might have been a little better. I'm still not sure how I feel. But both this and Stop are very good. This stops multiples, half blocks and takes nothing, breaker 1, stuff like that. Does all the cool stuff. It's a very good card. I've used it multiple times on offense in the past. And it's getting a reprint, so that's woo! Next card, we have hella 6-handed problems. I talked about it at the beginning of the video. But one of the ways you get to mitigate it is with Demon Realm Awakening. Block, remove, draw. Make sure your defense keeps up. Some of the times the problem ends up being your defense is only mid blocks, and you don't get to like shuffle, and you end up with like a lot of Red Eye Capsules in your hand if you draw cards with the original engine. It's like you drew cards, and you were forced to half block. So like eventually, either you ran out of good half blocks and your card pool is clear, your card pool is full, and you just couldn't do much, or you just didn't have enough draw power to get there. And Demon Realm Awakening kind of suffices for both of those. We're playing 2 Atone for the Sins of Weakness. I really like this card. It's good against assets. It's good against assets, and I mainly use it for the ability. If our opponent plays an ability that modifies speed or damage, we draw 2. It just gives us more strength with the Asimov Katerina. It makes our opponent be on the downside. Like having this in hand versus the Lilith matchup just meant if he tried to pump damage on a reversal, I just drew more offense, which was just very nice. And like I said, draw power is what makes this deck very strong. because drawing bad cards means you draw bad cards, and having more draw power means maybe one of those bad cards isn't a bad card. Like, draw 2 gives you, instead of 2 bad cards, gives you 1 bad card and 1 good card. It's all random, obviously, but having more draw power means more higher likely chance to not draw bad cards. We'll get to the bad cards soon. Don't worry. We're playing 2 Thunderbreak. It's a 4 low for 5, powerful 3 punch. The number that matters. 1 mid block. It's a 6 for 3. If it's discarded from our hand due to your opponent's effect, you draw back to your hand size, which is really, really good. It's good against the reptile matchup. It's good against matchups that just like the discard, Kuma, stuff like that. Then E, your opponent commits the highest difficulty foundation in their staging area. If it's a tie, you get to choose, which is nuts. So if they only have 2 diffs, you get to choose the one you don't like the most. And then it gets stun X equal to the difficulty. This card is just super, super strong. Gets rid of problem cards, as well as just stunning our opponent to make sure our attacks get through. So, like, it's just nuts. Then the only attack that's not a punch on our deck, Katerina Shot. Static, while it's in the card pool, all of our other punch attacks get +2 damage. This is my least favorite card in all of Katerina and Asimov Katerina's support. I don't like it because it doesn't flow well with the deck. I feel like it's supposed to be really, really cool. And, like, I get it. It's like a 2-2. You get +2 from this. You get +2 from the thing. I just feel like this, every time I've tried this card, it got really lackluster. In this deck, it's okay right now. I'm going to do some more testing, figure it out. It did pretty well during the tournament. But it has 2 abilities. Commit 2 foundations, ready 2 foundations that have not been readied. It's very good for, we play Malfestation, and that makes our opponent do things with that. We'll get to that in a second. But, like, you get to commit 2 things and ready 2 things. So, like, we're playing as a thing we'll talk about later, but passing the torch. Passing torch says draw 1 card. So, like, you play this, you commit this to draw 1 card. You commit, like, 2 like a Red Eye and a Malfestation. Malfestation, we'll get to that. We'll just pull it out real quick. Forces our opponent to discard commit a card because it was used for a cost, which is also very good with Asimov Katerina. We'll get to in a second, or in a minute, I guess. Then, like, you commit a Red Eye Capsule, which we'll get to also in a second. I'll just throw it right here since I'm pulling these all out. And then, like, you get to ready 2, and then you ready these 2 because they haven't been ready. Then you get to Asimov Katerina, remove and ready this. And it was almost like you didn't do anything for your stuff. It was just, you played a card and did 2, you drew a card, committed a card, gave it speed, ready this, got speed, has this for later. It's just really, really strong. As well as just being a 5 mid for 5 that we get to buff with Asimov Katerina is just really, really good. We're playing 3 Bloody Eye Rushdown. Has 2. It's a 4 low for 4. Gets 2 damage from Katerina's shot, obviously. Has 2 abilities. E, ready 1 foundation has not been readied. And then if it deals damage, your opponent commits 1 of their foundations. Or, my bad, you get to commit 1 of your opponent's foundations. So it's really, really strong. Gets, obviously, a bunch of damage from Asimov Katerina, a bunch of speed. Just really, really good. In my opinion, their best attack in their entire lineup. This could have been the rare, in my opinion. E, your next punch attack gets +3 damage. E, commit. If this attack speed is 5 or greater, draw 1 card. The way this card works very well is with the Red Eye Capsule. So you commit Red Eye Capsule with its cost, even if it's at base, as the first enhance. Respond with Red Eye to give it 1 speed. And then on the resolution of the ability, since it has 5 or greater speed now, you'll draw your card. Just really good. A lot of times you have to watch out for speed hate. Like, Face of Monster kind of slows this down, but, like, you can also get around it. Use Asimov first, give it a speed. Then commit, give it another speed. Ready, give it another speed. You can do a lot of cheeky things to get around stuff like that. But, like, a lot of times if you're not really paying attention, you can get caught red-handed, basically. Onto the next card. We're playing 2 Midoriya Strike. Enhance. Your opponent commits 1 foundation for each punch attack in our card pool. It basically stuns our opponent for each attack we have, which is just really good, as well as just getting a bunch of damage from Asimov Katerina. Super strong. We're playing 2 Velocity Hammer. Enhance, we had 1 foundation from our staging area to momentum. That's very good. We play a couple cards to use momentum, like the Thunderbreak that I should lift it up, but you probably won't be able to see. And the next card I'll talk about, which is the real reason we like this card a lot. I'm going to try and find some more momentum outs. I didn't really have a lot for this one, but that's why it's at 2 of. Gives momentum. It's a 4 low for 4. Very, very strong. For our next attack, So we played two, like, in my opinion, are big, beefy boys. 5% Detroit Smash. It's a 5/3, 5 minute for 5. Enhanced discard momentum, which you give with the Velocity Hammer. This attack gets +5 speed. Only playable if the damage is 10 or greater. It's very easy to get to the 10 damage, especially with Katerina shot. So all you have to do is have 3 red eyes removed. Katerina gives it 2. You commit a red eye to give it 1 speed and like the minimum 3 damage. So now it's a 6 for 5, 6 for 8, 6 for 10 with this. Ready the other one, make it a 7 for 10. Give it 5 more speed. It's a 12 for 10 now, and that's just base. Like there's nothing else that you're playing. It's a 12 for 10 base, just strong, beefy boy. And that's just minimum 3 damage with a Katerina shot. And then the other attack we're playing, 3 Power Stone. This is a 5/3, becomes a 4/3 if we have a smaller hand size than our opponent. It's a 3 low for 4, more lows. And then commit 1 foundation, Red Eye Capsule, give it speed. This attack gets +1 damage for each of our opponent's foundations, maximum of 10. So like at max, you commit a red eye, it becomes a 4 for 14. You ready a red eye, making it a 5 for 14. Then you commit the red eye again to make it a 6 for whatever red eyes you have removed. And it's just like, if your opponent has no blocks for this just slaughters them. We're playing, so now we're on to the foundation of the deck. We'll get into what I was talking about, how we have to play bad cards. We played 21 bad cards. Starting out where you play 1 Tijuana, obviously not a super bad card. A lot of people play this card. But you're kind of forced to play in this deck regardless if you want to, in my opinion. Because it removes foundation, so you can remove more red eyes to try and like flame your deck up into a kill position. As well as just being able to keep readying things and have more things to go in. Next is 4 Secret Stash. You get to search your deck and mill the Red Eye Capsules from your deck, which is very, very nice. Getting more red eyes in your discard pile means you have more red eyes to remove and more red eyes to use and whatnot. And then commit, remove 2 foundations, mostly your red eyes, but each player will discard 1 momentum, which is very good to like keep your opponent from using cool momentum mounts and stuff like that. You'll see a lot of people meme me for this card. I hate them. They can die. Not really, but they can die. But alright, next one. 16 Red Eye Capsules. Best card in the deck. As much as I hate to admit it. As much as it shouldn't be. It's the best card in the deck. Without this card, this deck sucks. This character sucks. But, as you know, winners do drugs, kids. And I do 16 drugs. I do 16 drug. Basically, when this is committed during the enhanced step, your attack gets +1 or -1 speed. This attack gets +1 or -1 speed. It's very good against stun, because if your opponent stuns you, you give them -1 speed. So like if you have like 3 on board and they like stun for you, you give everything -3 speed. You get to ready 1, give it -1 more speed, and just like you get to like do really cool things with it. Next, we're playing 4 Malfestation. It's a 1/6 with a 2 high block. After it's committed due to a stun ability, or to pay the cost of like Asimov Katerina, your opponent will commit a foundation. Depending on the matchups and whatnot, I actually use this a lot on defense more than offense. It's really cool to just have these on board, have a bunch of speed outs so where you don't have to worry about blocking. Sorry, I'm turning this the wrong way. And not have to worry about blocking, and then just go Asimov Katerina. Commit, you'll commit a card. I'll give my attack +X damage. It's your opponent's turn, but like you force them to commit a card, and it's just like stun 1 on your opponent's turn. It's just really, really strong. The card that I think makes this character very, 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 very good is a Voice of Reason. Once per turn, both players discard 1 card, draw 1 card. We don't care about our opponent drawing cards. Doesn't really bother us much. We get to play really good defense. The reason this card's really good is because we play 16 of these guys. And like I said, there's a reason I say we play 21 bad cards. This card in your hand does nothing. It's a 2 mid block, which is okay. It's really, really okay. But it's just a mid block. And having these in your hand doesn't do anything. So like, you need to get rid of them. And a good way to get rid of them, ditch them to draw more cards. So you ditch the bad cards to try and draw good cards. Like I said at the beginning, the idea is to draw the most good cards possible because we play so many bad cards. We're playing 2 God of Thunder. I actually kind of want to bump this up to 3. This card's very good because a lot of times our stuff gets flipped, we're playing Faye-Faye, that flips. If we build too many Red Eyes because we have to or whatever, we have to get rid of them eventually. Just gives us a lot of advantage and more readying for like offensive purposes as well and defensive. For Avarice, I really like this card in this deck. Like I said, we have really bad 6-handed problems, and checking this gives us more draw, as well as if we do have to build it, because like it's not a bad build for us. We give all of our give all of our attacks +2 speed, which is really nice, and then we can get rid of them to ready it to give more speed to things. It's just really good. One of the newer cards that I also think makes this deck very, very strong is Passing the Torch. A lot of times the problem with Asimov Katerina is you don't want to build your entire hand because you don't get anything out of it. You'll just get beamed, and you don't want to die, so you don't build your entire hand. And I feel like with the inclusion of Voice of Reason and Passing the Torch, you're allowed to build a little bit more and overextend just a tiny bit. Because overextending doesn't really hurt us as much anymore because doesn't hurt us at all, really, because we get to ready things with Asimov Katerina. But it doesn't do a lot if you build a bunch and you can't survive a turn. And just being able to draw 2 if we have no cards, just draw 1 in general, discard and resolve and draw 1 is just really, really good. Same reason why we're playing 3 extended lifespan. Just draw cards when our opponent draws. Keep our hand size up, make sure we can keep up with our opponent. 3 Ageless and Wise to protect our Red Eyes. Shotgun and all that is a card that really messes with us. Sangue and just all those. Please stop. I want my Red Eyes, please. Give me my drugs. 4 Faye-Faye for defense. Just flip for -3 speed, really good. And then I might bump this up to 1 more, but 2 Nightmare Tears. You basically block a low for free, almost. Really easy, simple. We do give like a bunch of speed negation, but sometimes just not having to do it and just not having to waste a bunch of cards and just being able to block for free is just really, really good. Thanks again for checking out the profile, guys. Sorry it's a little long. Asimov Katerina is my favorite character currently in Standard. I have a lot of history with the character, and I kind of geek out with the character a little bit. I apologize. But if you like the content, make sure to comment, subscribe, hit that like button. If you want to support us, go to patreon.com/TCGU University. And as always, stay alert.